Rather than lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, parts of the world. This is the third video we are doing today. Obviously, we won a game yesterday, so a lot of content when we win. Of course, you know that. But anyway, we're going to be discussing now transfers back to business. We're going to be discussing much of what is happening around the January transfer window, the speculation, the news coming out from Italy. I don't know how and why we have so many links now in Italy. Lorenzo Insigne, Kulusevski, and a couple of other players right there from Italy. We're going to be discussing what is happening there in the transfer market around Arsenal. Obviously, make sure you smash a like on the video. Yesterday, we got to 226 likes on that video of the transfer update. And of course, this transfer show, let's get it to 300 likes. Make sure you hit the like button. 300 likes is our target. So we're going to be discussing some of the comments post-match from Tomiyasu, from Lacazette, and from Mikel Arteta as well. But I said the bigger part of this video is going to focus on what exactly is happening in the January transfer window. Rumors, speculation, talks around Arsenal, recruiting a new striker, recruiting a new forward, and a new midfielder. Where are we? What is the latest? Without wasting any time, let's get to it. Because indeed, if we start off with links from Italy, guys, let's start off with Kulusevski. Now again, another big story is coming in from Nicola Ballis. Nicola Ballis, working with Co-Sport as well as Tuttosport, he's actually come out and said that Arsenal are preparing a 5-year deal for Kulusevski. Now, the players already accepted and agreed to join Arsenal. However, there is no formal agreement between Arsenal and Juve. I spoke about that, on the last show. But now, according to Nicola Ballis, the player will sign a 5-year deal to join Arsenal in the January transfer window. Should we agree a deal with Juve? Juve do not have a problem there. I've already spoken about that very, very openly, very frankly. They do not have a problem with selling. They actually do not have a problem with the price. They have already said if anyone wants the player, if any club is interested in getting in the player, that should be 35 million euros plus bonuses. They will not stand in the way of a player who wants to leave, and also the player is not going to be sticking to Juve when they are not giving him game time. It's a very, very big opportunity for Arsenal to get in the player that Mikel Arteta believes in, to get in a player that Edu wants, to get in a player that fits into the project. Obviously, it's being rumored already that Nicola Pepe is saying is already in his goodbye days, as well as Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. A couple of players will be leaving. Aubameyang leading the race now to leave the club. Pepe also there trailing behind Aubameyang. Edin Nketiah as well. All the forwards we have could be leaving the football club. And of course, now the new breed of forwards, the new brand of forwards that are being led by Kulusevski is coming in. Of course, we'll be discussing a couple of other links, a couple of other rumors, a couple of other speculations in the video later. But according to what is happening from what is actually being confirmed in Italy, Co-Sport and Tuttosport correspondent Nicola Ballis is saying that Arsenal will will sign Kulusevski on a 5-year deal. The player is yet to sign a formal contract with the club. Of course, we need to have all the paperwork done with Juve. We need to agree on the price with Juve and things like that. But I think that one will be done. I think I'm growing a little bit confident, not really excited, because with Arsenal transfers, you can't be excited. You really can't be excited unless it is over. But I'm getting a little bit confident with Kulusevski. It's a story that has been here, not dying at any point in time. You've seen the likes of Renato Sanchez. Their stories have been dying. The likes of Lautaro Martinez, their stories are coming up, dying, and then coming back again. But it's been so consistent with Kulusevski. All the big stories have been confirming that Arsenal do want and are interested 100% in Kulusevski. Romano, Gianluca Di Marzio, and now the man himself, Nicola Ballis, also coming out and saying that Arsenal will be getting this man on a 5-year deal. Of course, Nicola Shearer, as well, another hell of a journalist, also did come out and confirm that Arsenal will be chasing and will try to finish and accomplish the signing of Kulusevski in January. So that is what we know. 5-year deal is being prepared, to be met between the player and Arsenal. I hope this one is gonna be an easy one. passing terms, as reported, not expected to be a very, very big problem. And of course, the pricing and the agreement between Juve is also not expected to be a big problem. The only question now is, are we going to sign Dejan Kulusevski before Nicola Pepe leaves, or is he coming in as a Pepe replacement? So we will have to wait for Nicola Pepe to leave. But according to all the signs, according to whatever signs they are at the moment, it looks like Kulusevski will be moving in and Nicola Pepe will be moving out. So it's going to be Kulusevski first to move in, and then Nicola Pepe will be moving out. Obviously, guys, it's not like Nicola Pepe has not been given the chance. Arsenal, he's just failed. You look at the team, it is flying. You look at the youngsters there, they're really, really flying. And Nicola Pepe is proving to be the old man. He's proving to be the black sheep, in the squad, the black sheep in the family, followed by his African mate, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, the likes of Kolasinac as well. They're black sheep, and they know they need to leave ASAP. They need to leave as soon as possible. Dejan Kulusevski, 5-year deal. Arsenal are moving each day closer and closer to getting in the Swedish international. Let's wait and see whether we will get in that man in January. But still talking about players playing forward and also Swedish internationals, we could have a chance to replicate the Sweden national team forward line at Arsenal, because now, according to reports from Dean Jones Soccer, he is saying that 100% there is a possibility that Dejan Kulusevski will be that Dusan Vlahovic will be moving to Arsenal. Dean Jones Soccer, of course, one of those journalists that really reported very credible stories in the summer, about Arsenal transfer, and of course a couple of other clubs. He's, in an interview, this is what he said: 100% Dejan Vlahovic is the priority for Arsenal, but also Alexander Isak is offered, is being loved by the club. Now, what we know about Vlahovic is that Arsenal are really interested in getting in the player. It's been confirmed by all sources, all credible sources have confirmed that Vlahovic is the priority for Arsenal. 85 million euros. When Arsenal say that we'll be paying 85 million euros for a player, you good. You're really good, because we never do that. We really never do that. But according to credible sources, Arsenal are willing to break the bank, are willing to break the line and pay 85 million euros. And of course, he is our priority. He is the first player we are looking at to replace Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, whose future is not only uncertain at the club, but very dark. Now, according to Dean Jones Soccer, he says if Vlahovic doesn't come in, if the move of Vlahovic doesn't actually materialize, because the player again at the moment is not really convinced about the project that Arsenal are trying to do. He's not really in love with what we are trying to build at the moment. He wants a club with Champions League. He wants a club that's going to be winning titles. He wants a club that's going to be signing bigger players, bigger names around him. He wants to play for the likes of Madrid, the likes of City, the likes of Bayern Munich, PSG. That is where he wants to go. But at the moment, I can confirm we are the only club that are interested in Dusan Vlahovic. Tottenham Hotspur as well were also interested, but the links have died. Since then, he is our priority, and we are the only option that he has at the moment. Of course, a very good striker. He's got his numbers. He has already scored more than 30 goals in 1 year in 2021. So many clubs are going to come in, try to get his signature and things like that. But according to Dean Jones Soccer, if that move doesn't go through, if that move doesn't materialize, then we'll be moving for Alexander Isak. He is the man that we'll be going for. Of course, like I said, they always play a 4-4-2 at Sweden. The two strikers there is Dejan Kulusevski and Alexander Isak. Of course, Alexander Isak is highly rated, really a very good forward, really a very talented youngster. Of course, he doesn't have the numbers, he doesn't have the goals Dusan Vlahovic, but he's a very promising young talent, valued at around 70 million euros as well. It's not going to be that cheap. It's not going to be that easy to get him away from Real Sociedad. So at the moment, it seems that those are the two strikers that Arsenal is trying to fight for. Dejan Kulusevski and Alexander Isak. They're the two forwards that we're interested in from Sweden, and obviously the man himself, Dusan Vlahovic. is the priority, according to Dean Jones. Now, a couple of other midfielders have also been linked with the club, according to it's reports coming in from France. Gigi Wijnaldum has been put on the transfer list. Why should I say? PSG have said that Gigi Wijnaldum should be one of the players leaving the club, and they're interested in signing in Frankie de Jong from Barcelona. Now, according to what I know, Frankie de Jong will be leaving the club if a right offer comes in. PSG are the club that really want to sign him there on a permanent basis in the summer. But in order to do that, they'll need to let go of some players. Some players that like Gigi Wijnaldum earning a lot of money and rarely playing football, at the side. Arsenal, as we know from Sky Sports, they are interested in getting in Gigi Wijnaldum, but only on loan. I don't see Arsenal going for a permanent transfer for Gigi Wijnaldum. It would make no sense really to get a 32, 33-year-old on a permanent basis when players like Oriol Tchouameni are there. You could go for those ones. We could go for those ones. They are the future of football, and they really have a very bright future. So in terms of Gigi Wijnaldum, it could be a 6-month loan deal for Arsenal. That is what we are interested in doing. But PSG have actually come out and said the player is free to leave. Anyone that has the right offer, please come in and take Gigino Wijnaldum away from PSG. He is no longer welcome. And I think it was a really big mistake for Gigino to sign for them. He had a perfect opportunity to sign for Barcelona. I thought he would be a very important player at Barcelona because he's got that touch. For me, he's got that touch. And at the moment, Barcelona really struggling to get game winners. They need players with character. They need players with experience. They need players that are really good. And I think Gigi Wijnaldum would have been a very good option for Barcelona. But at the moment, it looks like Arsenal is the only club that would take Gigi Wijnaldum. So would you take Gigi Wijnaldum? Obviously, I know many of your thoughts really there. He's a very good player. I would love to to get him in January on a loan deal if we can't get a permanent midfielder. Then, of course, still talking about midfielders, Oriol Tchouameni, his agent, has actually come out. Actually, not his agent, but the sporting director at Monaco has actually come out and responded to all the links, to all the rumors around his player. Saying that he will be moving out, saying that he's gonna be going to Manchester United, to Chelsea, to Arsenal, and this is what he said. He said Tchouameni can now be considered as a top player. We would like to keep him. Price tag, he's as expensive as our Grand Casino. That is what he told Tuttosport. Now, guys, of course, we've been linked with Oriol Tchouameni for some time. So is Manchester United, so is Chelsea, and a couple of other clubs. Tchouameni is a top class midfielder. Last summer, around 40 to 45 million euros would have done the deal, but at the moment, his value is shooting up like you can't imagine. Around 70 to 80 million euros now is what we have to pay if you're going to get him in the summer. Of course, it can never be a January transfer move. It's always going to be a summer transfer move. You can only get him in the summer. According to Fabrizio Romano, he says that he is no longer that man that you're gonna sign for 45 million euros like it was last summer. It's always going to be 70 to 80 million euros. Now, for me, Oriol Tchouameni would be a very good player. I think Arsenal really lack a player like that. That player with a lot of aggressiveness. That player with a lot of tenacity. That player with a lot of relentless football. But again, I don't see us going for a player with 70, 80 million euros. If you look at the caliber of players, the caliber of teams that are really looking at Oriol Tchouameni at the moment, they are really big teams. Bayern, Chelsea, United, they have the money. They're going to splash the money around. Our priority at the moment is getting in a goal scorer, is getting in a talisman. I don't want us to spend 70 million euros on a midfielder. We could get so many players there. You could get Renato at just 40 million euros or 30 million euros. We've been given the green light to sign him. So I don't see any reason as to why Oriol Tchouameni would cost 80 million euros and then join us. At the moment, it is not our priority. It is not what we need at the moment. Probably in the next summer, when we get in the striker, when we get in the forwards, when we work on our forward line, then we can't go and sign in Oriol Tchouameni for 100 million euros. But at the moment, I don't see the really urgent. I don't don't see much urgency in Arsenal going for Orel Germany. If it's going to be 80 millions, if it's going to be 70 millions, let him go to another club. We'll get someone. We will get in someone. Of course, he's a very, very good player. I really compare him to the likes of N'Golo Conte, the likes of Eduardo Camavinga. He's not really at the level of N'Golo Conte, don't get me wrong, but I think he's gonna be there. He will be there. He's really talented. If you're watching France, if you're watching the French national team, you really understand what I'm talking about there. Orel Germany, Monaco sporting director Mitch is saying, at the moment, we would like to keep him, but of course, if you want to buy him, he's going to be as expensive as their Grand Casino. And obviously, still going back to Italy, Fabrizio Romano did come out and confirm that Lorenzo Insigne at the moment is going to be a free agent in the summer. Now, Arsenal have been linked with Lorenzo Insigne before, and of course, I've already talked about Lorenzo Insigne, how I would love him to join Arsenal. He's got that different kind of football that we do not have at the moment. That kind of winger that really loves to get inside and then cowboys away, try to find the top corners all the time. Of course, we saw him in the Euros there for Italy. He was really impressive. They won the title, they won the Euros, but I think the players that you can even you can mention in their squad, Lorenzo Insigne is one of them. He was so good. He was really unplayable. There is a lot of talent in Italy at the moment. There's so many players that I would love to sign in from Italy. Nicolo Barella being one of them. I'll take Lorenzo Insigne as well. He's really getting old, around 27, 28 years. But for me, I'll take him on a free. Give him 2 years of a contract with an extension, with a possibility to give him a third year. I would really take Lorenzo Insigne or Arsenal probably just for 3 years. I still feel like there is some football in him. We've been linked with him ever since Arsene Wenger, so it's not new. His name is not really new, on our transfer shortlist. But anyway, he will be a very free man in the summer. His agent has actually come out and confirmed that there are talks with our parent club at the moment, Napoli, to extend his contract, but there is nothing close to being agreed. So Arsenal could just come in there, scoop Lorenzo Insigne, and then move on. Let's look at some of the comments that we had after the game. Yesterday, beating West Ham 2-0 at the Emirates Stadium. Let's look at some of the comments that were made by the manager, that were made by Tomiyasu and a couple of other third parties there. So Tomiyasu on the performance, he said it was an important game for us to get to fourth place. So we showed our passion, and took the 3 points and fourth place. So I am really happy with the results. On how important it was to get into fourth place, he said we have to play every game to get 3 points, but now we have to protect the fourth place and go higher. So let's focus on the next one. On how tough it was against West Ham, he said, like I said, it was a very tough game for us, but we showed our passion, authority, and we wanted 3 points a lot. So I'm happy with the result. On playing alongside Gabriel Martinelli, he said, yes, I think he is a great player. I made an assist for him against Newcastle. I thought it would be too long, but he was fast and he had the technique to score. I think he is a very great player. But of course, guys, I think Tomiyasu also is a very good player. He's really developing very fast. He's really catching up very well with with English football. Of course, we know it's not the easiest league. It's not the easiest of leagues to play in the in the Premier League. But honestly, he's really catching up well. Lacazette, Mikel Arteta on Alexander Lacazette's performance. He said, despite missing the penalty, the French international did not stop running. And afterwards, Mikel Arteta praised his performance. Mikel said he was top again today. He said the manager, his intensity, link up play, his understanding of the spaces, how he makes everybody better around him is absolutely sensational. And he said it's a shame he didn't score the goal because he really deserved a goal today. And he said we've come a long way from difficult positions. He added, but we have to keep believing, to stay humble, go game by game. There are a lot of things that we have to do, and we can do much better, and let us focus on that. So that, basically, guys, that is the video for today. Transfers and some of the comments after the game. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Let's get this to 300 likes, and I'll speak to you early in the next one. We'll be discussing Arsenal's next captain at exactly 5:30 p.m. So join us then when we discuss who should be and who's going to be Arsenal's next captain. We'll also be discussing much about our next fixtures and how we've got here. We'll try to review where we've been, where we are, and where we are going. Make sure you hit the likes, make sure you subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so that you do not miss a video and any update. This is the home of Arsenal Football Club. If you do not want to miss a video, do yourself a favor, subscribe and hit the notification bell.